the busiest day we've ever had on this show, man. Deep in the jungles of Nigeria.
It is true what they say about you.
And what is that?
You have no soul.
Exactly what Echo does. Echo starts as a Nigerian crime lord and essentially evolves all the way to being that guy, to being a priest in soul and name. He believes in something he cannot prove. He believes in something that has no rational explanation.
You see on the screen now is something that's quite different from what was originally talked about and conceived. As I understood it, as what we discussed with the creators, he was actually quite a passive character.
Go and tell your friends I let you live. That Mr. Echo let you live.
The name that we initially came up with was Emeka, and I changed the name to Echo because it was Yoruba, which is the tribe that I come from, and added the Mr.
We're trying to finish the execution of our idea about Nigeria that we're actually filming in Hawaii as a flashback. We created a very dusty, dirty, brown kind of Nigerian earth look with lots of vendors.
Fresh bananas here.
And a little village square where the kids are playing soccer.
Again, we'll play the soccer game again, right? The truck will be coming, you'll score, you'll celebrate. I want you to spread out a little bit on this side so we see you guys, okay? Here we go.
I'd had some difficulty trying to establish the character with the writers, you know, because we were trying to marry what they wanted to do with the show and feelings that I wanted to see come out in the character.
Adewale's faith is sort of much more traditional kind of Catholic Christian faith, and he's struggling with that himself.
You have the man of science, which Jack represents, and then the man of philosophy and faith that Locke represents.
Locke's faith was sort of, you know, rooted in sort of a paganistic, ritualistic appreciation for whatever the powers and forces of this island are. Adewale came on and offered another sort of pole of faith, but in this case, sort of pure religious faith.
Don't mistake coincidence for fate.
But I think once they saw a 6'2" guy with his shirt off with a stick in his hand, they knew that there were going to be other dimensions that they needed to explore.
To my back is the rear end of the church facade that we created to match the interior, which is at another location over in Haleiwa. So we used the interior there, and then we cut to the exterior here.
Will you help us? If you buy a statue, the money we'll buy will go back to the 300 naira, sir.
What are you doing here?
Most of our research comes from the internet. We have incredible internet research now, so everything's very authentic. We had to age vehicles. All the marketplace people were coordinated with the wardrobe from their research. And even the church shape and so forth, we found a lot of parts of it in research.
The 23rd Psalm was perhaps the bonding point for me as an actor with the writers. So it really was the formulation of a trust between us, because when I saw that episode, I realized they actually knew where I was coming from, and they'd skillfully married some of the elements that I wanted to convey with some of the elements that they wanted to convey for the show as a whole.